Well, good morning. My name is Rodney Harrison. I am the transitional president for Hannibal-LaGrange University. Today's press conference is to update our community and friends on the steps taken by the university, its board of trustees, and its senior administration to address the fiscal challenges faced by the institution. A financial crisis was brought to the attention of our executive committee and team and the board of trustees back in the fall of 2021. The issue of declining enrollment was compounded by the pandemic. Fundraising, which is traditionally a major stream of revenue for nonprofit universities, fell short of our expectations. Then President Anthony Allen and the board secured the services of an outside finance firm, and within weeks, the realities that had been masked by the COVID relief funds began to surface. At the time, the president was exceptionally hopeful that end-of-year fundraising would push the budget back into a right position. But after the Christmas break, it was quite evident that new funds were not forthcoming, and many of the anticipated donations were not going to materialize. The new board chairman, Mark Anderson, appointed a task force to understand the fiscal condition of the university more fully. Over the next 4 weeks, the president resigned for health reasons and 2 board members resigned for personal reasons. Dark clouds began to appear as word of the financial crisis began to circulate both on campus and in the community. These murmurings were not just rumors. The university was not in a position to pay vendors and service providers. There was no money left. Additionally, spring enrollment had fallen short of expectation, meaning that the additional tuition revenue would not be realized. A task force, now fully aware of the depths of the crisis, transitioned from an awareness team to a search committee for the transitional president. Upon the recommendation of the task force, the board asked me to serve as a volunteer transitional president of Hannibal-LaGrange University during a special called meeting on March 5th. As part of the team that guided a Kansas City institution through a similar crisis a decade earlier, I was in a unique position to help the university. During my time in Kansas City, I had the privilege of hiring several Hannibal-LaGrange University graduates, and I knew firsthand of the impact our graduates are making in our world. Currently, I serve concurrently as the president of Baptist Homes and Healthcare Ministries, a healthcare network that has several Hannibal-LaGrange graduates, both on our board and on our staff. For this reason, I accepted the opportunity to serve this university because I believe in its mission and I believe in the students who come from this university into the marketplace. My goal for this season of service is simply to provide God-honoring leadership to ensure the mission of Hannibal-LaGrange University thrives. As an accreditation peer reviewer, I have worked with many institutions over the years facing financial crisis. The most frequent response is raise more money and increase our enrollment. However, most of those schools ultimately fail. Depending on more donations or ever-increasing enrollment is generally not a sustainable plan. Our response to this crisis has been to implement scalable business models that will allow the university to thrive in the changing landscape of higher education. I will offer some details of those plans in just a moment. However, I am also pleased to report that giving is up substantially since bringing the university's financial condition into the light. In only 3 weeks, our board leadership and I have been able to meet with faculty and staff to announce a fiscal exigency, to forecast austerity measures that needed to be implemented. And from that day on, which was March 9th, we began meeting with students and others who will be affected. The next day, on March 10th, we called a solemn assembly. This is a season to fast and pray and seek God's wisdom, His healing, His favor, and His forgiveness. What has been the result? Well, we have implemented first and foremost what we are calling the Integrity Plan. This is a plan to distribute our unrestricted gives as followed. 1/2 will be used each week to pay down all past due invoices. 1/2 will be used to pay off or pay down the smaller past due invoices with a goal of giving everything up to date this academic year. As smaller bills are being paid off, we are applying the remainder to the larger accounts. We are committed to restoring the trust of our faithful partners in this community, and we are thankful during this time for their patience. Currently, our giving is running about $90,000 per week, which is up from $2,800 before we brought the situation into the light on March 9th. In addition, our Board of Trustees has approved a special campaign targeting our alumni and friends. We are also working in partnership with the Missouri Baptist Convention on a similar endeavor. These will continue throughout the summer, and our goal is to bring all accounts current and incur no additional debt. But we have to do more. Expenditures have been brought in line with budgeted revenue, and this was accomplished by making a 25% reduction in payroll. We did this through the following steps. At the executive level, the role of president is now a volunteer role. I receive no pay or benefits. Our chief academic officer and academic dean has voluntarily taken a 60% reduction through the end of the academic year. Another vice president is taking a 50% reduction. We have transitioned all full-time employees and faculty to a 4-day pay and work week. We have had to suspend our 403B retirement contributions. We have accepted 2 higher salary resignations. And we have volunteer and alumni filling some positions. We have also made adjustments in how we pay some of our instructional faculty who especially serve adjunctively or part-time, and have adopted a per student rather than a per class model, which ensures that there will be no classes that are offered that are upside down or do not have a positive return on investment. Finally, the board has implemented and approved a balanced budget for 2022-23. This plan that has been adopted by our board reflects enrollment realities. It has reflected a streamlined curriculum, and it increases the average class size from only 8 students currently to 15 students. This helps again ensure that there are no academic programs that are offered that do not have a positive return. We are also working now with our community partners on initiatives that we hope to announce in the coming weeks that again help to assure the long-term sustainability of this university. I believe Hannibal-LaGrange has implemented the steps necessary to restore financial integrity. These corrective measures are solidly aligned with our Christian mission. This includes the aforementioned season of prayer that was on March 10th for over 10 hours. During this time, we prayed, fasted, and we acknowledged that we had not lived up to our stated values of institutional integrity. We also understood that there were those who had forgotten that this is a sacred trust, not only for Missouri Baptist, but for the community and for the region and for our students and alumni. We have met and will continue to meet with faculty, staff, and students and our community leaders to promote transparency. So far, we have had 2 faculty and staff Q&As and 2 student Q&As. And in these times, we are sharing the burden because we believe that they are a part of our solution. We've had a great response and outpouring from our students. Even today, we had a group of faculty who said, we want to support one of our students who have family in Ukraine. And we're just seeing an outpouring of generosity that is unprecedented in recent days. And then we are working closely with a task force that was set up by the Missouri Baptist Convention that is designed to help engage the prayer and goodwill of our 1,800 churches here in the state of Missouri. We are also engaged in a call to prayer across Missouri and Illinois in our churches and those that we partner with. Finally, the question is the university secure enough where I would send my child? And the answer is yes. In fact, the greatest place to learn is a place where God is at work. We are seeing daily an outpouring of His grace, His power, and His provision. And this is the kind of place I want to send my children, my grandchildren. This is where our next generation of teachers, nurses, business leaders, and church leaders will say, I was there during a time that God is at work. And they will have a great education here at HLGU. As I lead the leadership team through this transition, let me reiterate, our goal as leaders is to provide God-honoring leadership to keep the mission not only alive, but alive for the next generation of leaders and students. The outpouring of love and support for this university from the faculty, the staff, and our community is tangible evidence that our university is viable and that we are on the path to recovery. Thank you.